All right, big monster.
That's gonna be in there. He's fun. All right.
All right, let's get together here. What is up, guys? I'd like to welcome y'all into the fourth episode of
Episode 4, Tom Brady meme.
fourth episode of Sideline Chatter. Here, Justin. How you doing, James?
Doing all right, you know. I believe it's Monday, but I'm looking like I'm gonna go 3-2 across my 5 leagues. So
Solid.
losing to a scrub in my main league, but that's all right. You know, bad weeks happen, but
Thanks.
doing all right. How you doing, Chief?
Struggling.
Mm. Mm.
Took my first loss in our main league. Had
Mm.
QB's out for the year. Got
Mm.
some other injuries I'm dealing with. But got a nail biter tonight against Jake in his league.
What do you
Projected
need?
the tie.
Projected the tie. That's
Yeah.
fun. What do you need?
I have nobody. I'm up 30. And he has Hunter Henry, Janu Smith, and Saints D in a PPR league.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a little scary.
But we're here to rebound, drop some knowledge for y'all, and get back on the right track for week 6.
Can't believe it's week 6.
I think it is, right?
It's gonna be week 6, yeah. It's nuts.
Flying by. Well, we started what, week 3?
3. Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Noobishness.
Equipment fuck ups.
Noobishness.
But
Oh, boy.
so today we're gonna be covering pretty much the Sunday's games. We had some randoms break out, but maybe they'll be sustainable for the rest of the season. Touch on some people that choked, injuries, top waiver ads, of course, as always. We're going forward, and
Gonna fact check ourselves here with our feast or famine from last week, see if we're really gurus or not. We'll see.
so we got to hold ourselves accountable. Can't just give y'all the wrong info every time and never
Talking
check
out
ourselves
our
for
ass
it.
up here.
We're gonna make sure we're right with this shit. So, all right, where should we start, Chief?
You want to start with your guy?
Oh yes.
Some sad news. Moment of silence for
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
Probably the biggest injury so far to the year, maybe, or most.
Well, biggest because it's the whole year,
Yeah.
and
Sad.
just if you watched it, that was a very, very sad moment out there in Dallas. The ball on his eyes out, standing ovation, all players like crying, coaches crying. Shit was sad.
And it was nasty.
Disgusting.
All because Gallup ain't want to fucking throw a block for him.
He couldn't just run out of bounds.
Yeah, he could have done that too. Or could have just slid, but he's tried stiff arming people,
He's a
so
tank,
I respect it. But I have him. I was on his hype train all preseason, all this year, and he was QB2 entering this week, throwing for hell yards.
Looks like that 6,800.
Yep. So much for that.
Ain't having it.
1,200. But
1,200.
yeah, I have him in 2 leagues, and our league I don't have a backup, so I'm either have to hit the waiver wire hard, or make some trades.
He doesn't want Lamar, but I don't blame him. He doesn't want Lamar and Waller in a package. He doesn't want them.
But we'll see. I'm on life support.
It's our quick moment of silence for Dak Prescott. We're going to move on. What you got, Chief?
But we should probably touch on how that's going to affect their offense, you think? I mean, obviously it will.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't trust the Red Rifle?
Right. I feel like he's probably one of the better, if not best, backups in the league.
Yeah.
But I feel like the coaching philosophy is going to change now. Like, they're just going to hand it to Zeke 25-plus times.
I mean, you took Zeke 3rd overall for a reason when you took him. So,
I mean, Zeke owners will probably be happy, I assume.
I think, actually, out of all the receivers, I think Cooper stays, like, the highest out of all of them. Like, I don't think, Lamb could probably still do the same. Do they just forget Gallup?
I mean, until the end of the game.
Yeah, when Dalton came in. So, does he just like the older receiver, like, or the number one, like, quote unquote number one receiver? That's why I think, because Cooper didn't have a catch until Dalton came in. So, I think, I feel like he could actually keep them sustainable.
Sustainable.
Not,
I don't think there'd be
not 6,000 yards.
Right.
Everyone's eating.
I mean, in all 3 of them, it's kind of, I don't know. It's difficult. Well, Lamb had 8 for 124 yesterday, so.
Yeah. I faced them, and I had Slayton down to the wire at the end, and guy just catches every fucking pass.
But I think I think we kind of have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. I'd expect a slight downtick in production from the receivers, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Nasty.
It is
Nasty all around.
It is nasty. It's
Shame.
not fun.
It's a shame.
But we're going to touch on some of our breakouts of the week now. Some unexpected people up here.
Yeah.
First was, I think, the most obvious was Chase Claypool. He had a total of 4 touchdowns.
Shout out Johnny V.
Yeah.
Left him on his bench.
11 targets, 7 catches, 110 yards. Also had 3 carries for another touchdown. So, I mean,
they ran like 7 end arounds. Yeah. It was awful. Boring to watch. But Claypool.
I mean, Deontay left in the first quarter with a back injury, so I feel like he stepped up, obviously. And I think I don't know who's their number one. Like, who the hell is it?
Is it just going to change week to week?
Yeah, like, is he going to be it now?
Juju just stink now? Like, star players are just not doing what star players are supposed to do this year. It's a weird year.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. Claypool, obviously, I don't think 4 touchdowns is happening ever again. I mean, maybe if the Eagles would put someone other than Nathan Gary. Oh, my God. I forget who it was. It might have been Field Yates. I don't know who it was. Nathan Gary's individual stats. He's like bottom 2 in like giving up. Like he's been targeted against 23 times and given up 23 catches.
For the season?
Yeah. Yards per like reception against him is this last. I don't know. It was just really bad stats. Like he was like the worst coverage defender, and he was guarding the guy who was eating the whole day.
That man was getting cooked. So
that last touchdown was incredible. He got fried.
So Eagles fans, put that man Jerry in check. Go tweet at the Eagles. I know y'all like to do that. So
Nathan,
but
poor guy.
All right, but I don't know. Obviously, I think he's the best pickup this week, and he's someone to monitor that could probably. I don't know. We'll have to see with him because he has flashed before. He had like a 70-yard TD in week 3, I believe it was. So obviously they trust him and they probably want to get at the ball. So and he had 11 targets last week. So
yeah.
Look out,
Claypool. We're gonna stay in that game actually. Another receiver, but for the Birds, Travis Fulgham. I made fun of him last week for saying people couldn't spell his name, and he's somehow the Eagles' #1 receiver.
Yep.
Crazy.
13 targets, 10 catches for 153 yards and a touchdown.
Stupid.
It was insane.
Absolutely stupid.
He was only 3% rostered coming into the week.
I'll probably go up to like 80, I would say. Because he's going to be usable every week, I think.
Right. Yeah,
he's Wentz's guy now. Like, that happens every year. Like, the end of the year, Greg Ward was, like, Wentz has one guy that he just peppers with targets compared to everybody else. I don't get it, but the one, like, play near the end of the game, I think, he ran, like, a post, but, like, Wentz literally just threw it in the triple coverage up to Fulgham.
Right.
And if he didn't catch it, like, we probably don't even get as close as we did, but I don't know. Fulgham looks good.
Is Deshaun coming back, or I don't even, like, know what that man is.
I don't know. They're such
like
different
Jeffrey,
receivers.
What the hell's going on? Like,
apparently, Alshon Jeffrey's been close to coming back for weeks.
Right.
I don't know what his deal is.
Well, I feel like after this game, they're probably going to have no choice but to use him as their one, the team.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But, I mean, he's playing so well that his momentum is going to carry him. He's going to be better than Alshon Jeffrey that hasn't touched the field yet. Like,
right.
I don't know. I think he's going to be the #1 going forward. That's just my opinion.
Yes,
but
sir.
Travis Fulgham.
Later in the week, we'll come out with some snap share percentages and route runs, and
he's got to be up there.
Greg Ward's still involved, but
so he scored again too.
Hopefully this week or next week, Fulgham will be the #1 again. So
lethal passing attack, Eagles. Lethal receiver core. Former quarterback and an undrafted free agent cut by 3 teams.
Right. Good old Eagles. But next we have Mike Davis, who was like a journeyman turned into a god.
Fantasy superstar.
18 carries, 89 yards, 9 catches, 60 yards, and also a touchdown. And he has 30 catches in his last 4 games.
He's elite.
And he's been the #1 PPR running back ever since the McCaffrey injury. So,
if you picked him up,
if you picked him up,
you probably haven't lost.
3-0 since.
Yeah. Shout out Ty Jones.
Ty Jones.
Waiver ads, saving his season.
Would you trade him?
No. I mean, if you could get someone to trade for him,
get some noobs.
Yeah, if you got a noob in your league who sees eye-popping numbers and doesn't pay attention.
Do you think he'll be used at all when McCaffrey comes back? Or do you think
As
he's
a
going back to
McCaffrey
0?
owner who needs McCaffrey to come back and save my season, I hope not.
Right.
But I mean, it's undeniable how good he is.
Yeah.
So I feel like
they'll use him somewhat.
especially the first week or two,
Yeah.
because it seems like McCaffrey's doing everything he can to rush back.
Mm-hmm.
So, God forbid he gets hurt again. He's definitely someone to hold on to, I think. I would rather keep him than trade him, just because, God forbid, because you're not going to get a lot of value for him when McCaffrey comes back. And God forbid something happens to McCaffrey again. Or,
Right. God forbid that shit was funny.
I said it like 5 times. That's bad.
But
Point was made.
right.
But,
They're 3-0 since McCaffrey got hurt though, so.
maybe they should trade him.
But if you got Mike Davis, I mean, I own him in one league. I'm gonna see what I can get out of him. Because if I don't know, if you like we said, if you have a noob in your league, and you can get some good value out of him, shit, I'll trade him.
Yeah.
Because once McCaffrey comes back, he will be a shell of himself of what he's been doing. But right now he's
Eric Spivak. He likes running backs who split. So.
But he's a PPR god.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we gonna talk about next, Chief?
Go one of the players we flame every single week on this podcast. I believe both of us. I think I said it, but both of us might have said it. He should have been dropped, we said, coming into the week.
Yeah.
It's Brandon Cooks, Houston.
12 targets, 8 for 161 and a touchdown.
He was getting the ball every play. It was insane.
I mean, 12 targets obviously isn't a fluke.
He's been getting targets. It's not like he's just like getting zeros and shit. Like he might have got 0, but he's getting targets. I don't know. I feel like they're always gonna have to throw a lot.
I agree. Do you think the coaching change had anything to do with this?
That'd be fun.
It might have.
Going forward for him, that would be fun.
Maybe it was just a matchup.
Ninja.
Like, I don't know if you chase these points here. I don't know if you do. Because I think next week you could probably disappoint and put up a 2-point game.
I own him in a league that's 3 flexes, and I've started in weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then benched him week 5 because I hate the guy, and he got 35 points on my bench. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to be in a position where I force him into the lineup next week.
Yeah, because week 4 he had 0 catches. Week 3 he had 3 targets last week with 0 catches. Then week 3 he had 5 targets, 3 catches, 20 yards. So I mean, I'm not trusting Brandon Cooks.
I don't know if they're.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't.
If they're
hate
unleashing,
on you if you picked him up.
If they're unleashing Deshaun.
Yeah, I would pick him up if you're gonna use a waiver ad on somebody. Maybe for the end of your bench, maybe, or it's bye-week filler. Because we've seen in the past he can have games like this. Because he's obviously a good deep threat and whatnot. But
he's fun. He got hit sticked again. Did you see that? The guy got ejected for hitting him.
Oh yeah.
He got just. It's just what is wrong with him? Why does he get hit sticked by everyone? It's tiny, I guess. I don't know.
Next we have Decaf Metcalf.
The God.
11 targets.
The ripped God.
6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been above 90 yards in every single game this year, which is crazy to think.
John's keeper.
Yeah, he was a keeper in like 2.
Yeah, so very late round pick if your league does keepers. Somebody probably has him for nothing.
I couldn't grab him. I couldn't even try to grab him to my league because he's already keeped. So I was like, I don't have him in any league, and I wish I freaking did because he's like insane.
He's going off.
Like, he can catch a deep ball. He can obviously catch curl routes. He can run after the catch, everything. So
and they fed him at the goal line to win the game.
Yeah.
3 straight targets, right? I think.
He had the drop, and then.
Well, I think they threw it to him before that.
There.
Yeah, got there, and then they threw it to him. He dropped it, which was insane. And then just throw it to him again.
Yeah, I thought I was off the hook with I was facing him, and thought I was off the hook with the drop, and next play comes back and catches it.
He's good.
So he's looking. I've seen some
gods.
Yeah, I've seen some articles that he might be the wide receiver 1 end of the year, like overall. I don't think it's that foolish to say.
It's not foolish. It's just a little weird to think about, but.
Right. If you think of, if Russell's gonna be MVP and keep doing this,
there's 70 touchdowns.
What'd you say?
So he's probably gonna throw 70 touchdowns. Guys, fucking unreal.
But he's been above 90 yards in every game, so obviously.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like that's the best floor you're gonna.
Saying if you did draft him, he's probably drafted as wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
Back end.
Right.
And he's giving you
1.
Top 3 production.
So
it's ridiculous.
DK the God.
Absolutely ridiculous. We're going to wrap it up here with the breakouts with fins up, baby.
All the way up.
Fins up.
Fitz magic.
Magic. The God.
350 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Take what I said back, too. He's sitting. Sit his ass down. Let Fitz magic roll until he fucks up.
Yeah. QB1 for the week.
Nuts.
I mean, he's done this before as well. And then next week he might go out and be the QB 30th. So, but I feel like this was unexpected in the matchup, too. They just dominated the whole time.
Absolutely dismantled the 49ers.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's always a streamer candidate. And I just lost Dak, so.
Apparently he's matchup proof because I would say this is a game that he probably should have had a down week, and he just obliterated them.
He's just a random player. Random fantasy player, at least. He can obviously have weeks like this and then choke and throw 3 picks.
It's magic.
So.
Fins up, baby. 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Who we got next week? Who we got? I'm officially on the bandwagon. I don't even know.
Jets at home. So
3 and 3. Dolphins in the playoffs.
We'll probably lose. Fitzpatrick probably choke.
Flacco versus Fitzpatrick. No, I think Darnold will probably be back, but
maybe
that would be one for the ages.
Yeah, Flacco and Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, in 2020. It's a little wild.
That'd be fun.
Jesus.
We're gonna get into our feast and famine section that we released on Thursday. Did you tweet them out?
I did not. I forgot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a busy end of the week, but
pretty much what we do is give 3 positions, 3 players from each position that we're gonna do good against our matchups, and 3 that we're gonna underperform. And that was last Thursday for this Sunday. This past. We're gonna do a little recap and
see how right we were.
Yeah,
see if we're
monitor ourselves.
Dumbasses.
Self-evaluation. But
oh boy.
Start with the receiver section we had. We had our feast were Robbie Anderson, who was, what was right? 13 targets, 8 for 112.
He's a god.
So he looks like the clear number 1 in there in the offense.
I mean, Moore had a good game too, but
he only had 5 or 6 targets. I think 6 targets.
That's it.
Yeah, 92 yards and a touchdown, which is good, but he had that long one.
Long ass touchdown.
So Robbie's looking like he's the number 1 by decent long
His
shot.
His floor just increases every week. Mm-hmm. It's like ridiculous.
And they're surprisingly throwing the ball a lot,
and
which
winning,
I like.
So
they're fun. They're a fun team.
They're
surprise of the year.
Panthers are very fun.
So
next up, got my guy, my do or die play of the week, Darius Slayton. I did say if he didn't get a touchdown, I'd disavow, but
he did more than enough.
He bought himself another week. 11 targets, 8 for 129. I needed 21 more yards to have some life, but he good.
Is this more on
Swiss cheese? Yeah.
Is this more on the defense or the offense?
It's more on the defense.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones looked like a good NFL quarterback, so something's messed up there.
Do you know they play next week or no?
The Giants?
Yeah.
No.
Let me look it up real quick.
Probably someone good.
He might be on
the
Redskins. He might be another feast for James. We don't know.
No. He'll be a feast whenever they play Dallas again. That'll be it.
Right. But the next one we had all Vikings and Seahawks pass catchers. This is in the middle.
We're about 50-50 on this. Yeah.
We're new, so we're giving us the benefit of the doubt here. But Thielen and Metcalf both went off with 2 touchdowns apiece. But then Lockett and Jefferson.
What did Jefferson even have? I don't even know.
4 for 25. Ass.
It's all right.
And then Lockett only had 4 for 44. So
you own 3 of those 4 players.
Yeah.
Dear God.
And the tight ends, Greg Olsen, 1 catch, 20 yards, and then
Irv Smith was kind of eating.
He had a couple catches.
Like 3 for 50 or something.
Yeah. But I feel like the Vikings just ran the whole game.
And couldn't even get 1 fucking yard to win the game.
And yeah, that was brutal. Oh
I mean,
God. I agree with it.
I think they should have 100% ran the ball. Yeah, this is the right call. He ran for almost 200 yards or over 200 yards. I don't even know.
Madison, I think, 100 himself.
Yeah, and
Coke was eating.
Coke had like 75. I think they might have ran for like 180, something like that. Yeah, and they couldn't get 6 inches. It's brutal, but right call.
I think the game could have been more of a shootout. It was a weird game.
It started off so weird. The Seahawks sucked so bad in the beginning.
Then they had 3 touchdowns in like 2 minutes. Insane. We're going to get into our quarterback section of the feast. We had Deshaun Watson. We predicted a nice bounce back week with a new fresh coaching staff and nice easy matchup. He delivered with 360 passing yards, 3 TDs, 2 picks, and also 25 rushing yards to chip in. I feel like this was an easy prediction for me, at least.
I mean,
It just seemed like a get right spot.
I mean, yeah, but the Jags have like had his number his whole career
Yeah,
basically.
that's
So
true.
I mean, I could have seen how it wasn't that easy, but
They had something to prove, though.
yeah, this is like a big winner. Winner, the season's over for them. Probably still is over, but he had a good game. It's 360 yards,
Fine is what
3
you're expecting
touchdowns.
from that man, because I own him in one league and he hasn't been playing that well. So about damn time.
Next,
to quote
we had,
LeBron.
about damn time. Shout out, LeBron. Woo!
That's right.
Get some flack for that, but
Right. LeBron sexual is gonna come chop my head off.
yeah. Shout out Jimmy Butler. Guy's God.
Jesus. Let's get on from that before we get
Before we get
flamed.
get hating too much, man. We had Teddy Bridgewater here. We had him on our feast, and
Yes.
I don't know about feast, but he had a very solid game.
I'll take it.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not
Crazy.
Fitzpatrick,
Yeah.
but we'll take it. 315 yards, 2 TDs, and a win.
Yes, sir. And that's clean, like
Top 8
Yeah.
quarterback. Like, you'll take that every day.
25-point game in our league, 20-plus point game in our league, our scoring.
You will take that every day,
So
every
as long
week.
as you're getting 20 points from your quarterback and above, I feel like you're content. You just can't have them 8 burgers and
He's
8
moving into
solid territory.
Just start every week territory.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's good.
And they play in like a fun division too.
Yeah, like
Shootouts and shit.
leaky ass division.
Gets the Bears next week, which is
A little nasty.
so.
A little nasty.
But Teddy with a good game nonetheless. And then we had Evan Ingram on our tight end list, who scored.
So it's not much of it. This is really not a feast, but he got in the end zone for the first time in 5 games. So we predicted him to have his best game, and he did.
And whenever your tight end scores in your tight end spot, you're happy. I feel
I'll say you'll take 6 points from your tight end, even if it's 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown, like Justin. But you'll take it. It is a rushing touchdown, so
25 total yards and a touchdown for him. So if you took our advice there, I guess you're content.
John
Say the
Griffin.
last.
John
say the
Griffin, the
least.
predictor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trading him, man. Guy's going off. Okay.
But our feast that we were wrong about. So these are players that we said we expected big games from that didn't have great games. First was Antonio Gibson, and they had 51 total yards, which is obviously not what you want. But he did have 5 catches. So in PPR league, he kind of salvaged a little bit. But I feel like they kind of just got manhandled by the Rams.
Yeah.
I looked up, and then Alex Smith is getting sacked every play, and there's a new QB in every second. And
I just don't understand. This is not about Antonio Gibson. It's about the Washington football team. But Kyle Allen was fine to play 1 drive after he got hurt. And then he's the starter again this week, and they left him on. So Ron Rivera was just like, yeah, we'll leave Alex Smith out there on his brand new fresh leg to get mauled.
In the rain.
And then not use him again. Like, what? That's so grimy. Like, what?
Yeah, I agree.
Ron's got some question marks, bro.
Yeah, I would have put Allen back in. Definitely, but
preserve Alex Smith. Like,
on that, you don't throw him out there. In that
say,
kind of
not
game.
even that he was getting mauled. Like you said, the rain was. What if he just slipped and fell and hurt his leg? Like, oh my god. But yeah, Gibson, that's not what you wanted. Not what we thought was gonna happen.
But I think he has better days in front of him. That was just a horrible game. But next we had James Robinson for the Jags, who had 70 total yards, 5 catches, and also a fumble.
And a dumbass fumble. Worst play call I've ever seen.
Yeah, but,
go score a touchdown, just hand it off or throw it right in front of a regular play. And they just gave him a free fumble.
But I mean, this isn't the worst of games. But he's been playing.
Floor.
Yeah, it's not 70 yards, 5 catches. That's 12 points in like a PPR league. But we expected a little more, especially from the Houston run defense has been like brutal this year.
Awful.
So he'll bounce back though. And then
got Justin's guy ranting.
My guy no longer.
Ranting and raving might get dropped now.
Yeah, facts. Dalton Schultz, 1 catch, 6 yards. Nice 0.6 game from my feast player. So I mean, Dak's obviously we touched on that. He's out for the year. We didn't even talk about him when we talked about Dak. I think put him to the bench now.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Dalton Schultz.
His 2-week run he had of tight end 1 value.
Justin's trying to trade him like he's Gronk in 2010.
He's gone. That had a lot to do with Dak's injury, so you can't really fault us too much. And then, all right, that marks enough for the feast.
All right, we'll move on to the famine. Take this first one. Because
Typo?
I asked Justin to write up some notes for us, and he just doesn't put names on it. So I got some stats for y'all if you want nameless stats. But
That shit was funny. No, so these our famine players were famine that we predicted wouldn't do good, and we were right on them. So hopefully left them on your bench. First was Odell.
It's like I'm trying to guess who it was, but I couldn't.
He had 58 yards and 5 catches.
It's not terrible.
Not terrible, but I know after last week's game, y'all were expecting like another blow up Odell game. And against Xavier Rhodes and the Colts, we told him to leave him on your bench. And
one of the nastiest 67 total point games I've ever seen. I don't know how the score was that high.
Yeah, I don't
it's disgusting. But
if you were brave enough to bench him, I think you were happy with that result.
Yeah.
You could have had a lot more receivers provide value other than him. So
saying Baker's a little banged up, so going forward,
that too, yeah.
Going forward, Odell's might be a little scary.
Shit.
Yeah, but you know him, fucking. I'm a cool guy, tough guy. Yeah, I'll be playing. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'll throw 10 yards behind Odell.
Shout out, Bake.
Oh, boy. Next up, we got my Balzac Ertz. This might be as right as we will ever be in our lives.
Good one here. And when we do these, we're trying to give y'all some pretty good players. You're not trying to just take the easy way out and pick
tight end 15s.
Yeah,
and like, yeah, they're gonna suck.
So we're trying to pick high players that will underperform. So
I know y'all love your names. Zach Ertz said he's gonna suck, and he sucked.
He put up a Dalton Schultz line, but one catch, 6 yards.
5 catches over the last 2 weeks, and Wentz is looking better, and he's not. So I don't.
And Goddard's not even there.
Not even playing. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe teams are just game planning for him because we have no receivers, so they're just game planning for Ertz. I don't know, but Zach Ertz.
He's only been over 40 yards once this season, which is, I think, something obviously.
I didn't know tight end 5 or whatever you guys draft him at. Tight end 4.
Yeah. So. If you want to try to trade him, maybe he still has some value with his name.
Go find your biggest Eagles fan in your league and trade him to him.
Yep. Got plenty of them. And next we have the GOAT with Tom Brady. We predicted he would have a bad game, and
it wasn't like the worst game, but yeah, it wasn't.
250 yards and a touchdown is not what you want from your starting quarterback. 13 fantasy points. It was a tough matchup, and it was a Thursday night game. We predicted it to be a little nasty.
Stay away from them QBs on Thursday night.
We knew it would be a low-scoring game, and it was, and he didn't deliver. So, bravo
to us. Forgot what down it was too. That was awful.
Oh yeah, you forgot what down it was.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Or he was just trying to use that as an excuse.
I saw one thing and said like to make it even take it more exaggerated. It was his brain's going so bad he thought it was the start of the fourth quarter. That shit was funny.
It was funny.
Oh god.
And then to wrap this up, we have our wrong famine part, which was players we thought would do bad that did pretty well at the end. First was Myles Gaskin.
My guy. Told y'all to buy him.
He did tell him to buy, but he said this would be a down week. So this is like a semi.
So I'll take this one. I'll take this one on the chin. Going forward, looks like the right choice. But Myles Gaskin, 91 total yards, 5 catches, got a touchdown. Jordan Howard's out.
Yeah,
definitely helped.
Healthy scratch.
He had was he really?
Yeah.
Whoa! I didn't know all that.
Yeah,
that's fun. That's very fun.
So maybe they're finally giving up on him as a vulture.
I don't know. I saw he had 6 carries inside the 10 or something. I was like, that's what you want to see out of this guy. He's taking over.
This is just because of the matchup. I guess we just overrated the hell out of the San Fran D. So
I guess everybody getting hurt at MetLife really ruined them, I guess. But
Gaskin with a good game that we didn't see coming. Then next we had Robert Woods. I think, was it the stat we said last week? Was it the Redskins haven't let a receiver over 6?
They've only let one receiver one time go over 68 yards.
Oh, okay.
And he got 71. Got 56 on one play. So, I mean, if you take that one play where there's a busted coverage away, he really did nothing.
Yeah.
So, I'm sticking by it. Got lucky. He got lucky.
But we had to throw it on there because we're not perfect. We got to take the goods and the bads.
So, and move on. Probably
His teammates.
I said the rightest will ever be with Zach Ertz. This was probably the wrongest will ever be. Jared Goff.
300 yards, 3 TDs.
That's a great game.
Didn't see that coming.
Out of a
really.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Fantasy, real life, all around.
I feel like he's up and down. Some week they're running the hell out the ball. Some weeks they're throwing it.
I was saying everyone thought Darrell Henderson was done.
Yeah.
And he got 15 carries. Like
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
I don't know. That team's confusing. I'm Cup owner. Doesn't make any sense. Like he was shut down too. He had one lucky play where he caught. Like he ended up with 60 yards, I think.
66.
And he had 48 on one play. Like it's not good. I mean, I'll take it.
Right.
Jared Everett's the tight end then. Guy's
apparently
freaking monster. Target hog.
He had a very good game. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but
Higbee's on the downtrend, and Justin's trading him for.
Everett had 4 for 90, 4 targets. So that wraps up our feast and famine recap of the week and our little self-reflection for y'all.
Overall, we're pretty
solid,
guru-ish.
Solid first week for us for the predictions.
Ask me.
So if y'all got any lineup questions, come ask us. You know, anybody other than Rowell, he's the only one to hit us up.
Rowell and Chris Naylor. Shout out Chris Naylor. Yeah. Asking for start sits.
Anybody in y'all leagues out there, if y'all need some advice for the week, nice little start sit, come ask us. Then we're gonna wrap this up with some injuries that happened over the weekend and some waiver ads. So some notable injuries were AJ Green.
AJ Spleen.
With a hamstring injury. Apparently he wants to be traded. He was caught on the sidelines, like they were reading his lips. And they said he wanted to be traded. And he was out there not giving it his all. And like you said.
The interception, Joe Burrow interception. And he just looked like he was blocking for Marcus Peters on the return. Was pretty funny. But
he's just been
one of my favorite
receivers ever. He's done.
Higgins is just taking his role.
Toast. Sad to say.
He's done. Yeah.
Hopefully he gets traded and can pick it up somewhere else.
I'm sorry if you had the chops to buy him. Like draft him. I mean, not buy him.
I was a drafter.
Draft him as your wide receiver 3 or something. I was staying away from him.
Sad
Guy's
day.
got glass bones. I don't want that. But
sad day.
Glass bones, paper skin, SpongeBob meme. But yeah, he's see ya. He's gone. Done. Move on.
Next we have DJ Baby Chark with left with an ankle injury in the fourth quarter. He only had 3 catches for 17 yards before exiting.
Can't stand this guy.
Yeah, it's
up and down every fucking week.
It makes no sense. Some weeks he's the clear one. Some it's like he's 5th in targets on the team. Like I don't get it.
I just can't see him. And what he did, 3 for 17. Like
gross,
disgusting. What?
He was a lot of people's breakout candidate this year. But I think if he is miss some time, I think Laviska Shenault. He's my favorite player.
Laviska. Oh, that's such a fun name.
No, he's been solid.
He has been.
Solid. So
I think we mentioned him as a pickup a couple weeks ago, I think.
And we'll get to this too as well. So, welcome chops, Buddyson.
All right, next we got Sammy Watkins, who I have a personal vendetta against, but owned him last year, got 35 week 1, and didn't get that combined the rest of the year, so I have a personal vendetta. It's probably the worst stat I've ever heard, but multiple week hamstring, shocked.
That's what we're posting. I mean, the prediction for it is.
I think people got glass bones and paper muscles. I ain't shocked.
So, I mean, he's probably a flex play if you're using him. It's grimy Reggie Jackson using him and Joey.
Every player on our injury list has previous injuries. So.
Yeah, really, literally. But I guess you'll see maybe Hardman take on more of a role if you were to miss time.
Can't have trust in him or Robinson. They just flip flop. Who's going to be the guy every week?
I agree. So, I mean, it's pretty much Hill, Kelsey, and Clyde and Mahomes.
Glide.
If Hill would miss time, I think you could pick up Hardman.
I would rather have Hardman than Robinson.
Definitely. But next we have Dalvin Cook. I was going to say Crook. Dalvin Cook. He had a groin injury, left the night game. He was seen on the sidelines coming back.
I'll say he even came in for a possession.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I'm pretty sure he did. He ran once up the middle for no yards and they took him back out. But
sure. Him and Madison, they're
I thought they said he came back in for a possession, but I could be wrong. But it doesn't look too serious. They didn't need him to run the ball, so I think that's more why he didn't go back in. Madison was eating.
I think he'll be an RB1 if Cook misses time.
If he were to miss a game, he's a 1. They're gonna run he's gonna run 28 times a game if Cook's out.
Mm-hmm.
They ran the ball
Mike
30
Boone
times.
action.
Stop it. Smith, who's the Smith guy? Who's that? Don't they have a running back named Smith?
I don't know. They're using Boone. That was fun.
Boone.
Next, we have.
I'll let you handle this one, G. That's all you.
He was my bye player of last week, and apparently.
Get out of here for this one.
Glass bones, Deontay Johnson left with a back injury in the first quarter. Tomlin is saying he should be able to play next week. Now Claypool's blown up. Deontay's hurt, so
Don't sound like a good situation to me.
it does not.
Multiple injuries to different parts of his body. Does not sound good.
I leave him on your bench for this week, see what happens, and then maybe throw him in again the week after this week because he can't really be trusted with all these injuries. Because the game he played before the bye week, he left with an injury in the first quarter as well. So I played him twice for a combined 0.7 points.
And he's 4-1. So
big slate.
Bull jab.
And then Kyle Allen got hurt. We talked about earlier. No one really gives a damn. I guess you're a Terry McLaurin owner out there. You want Kyle Allen to start?
Or
Haskins?
I want Haskins because he feeds them, but obviously he's the fourth string quarterback, so he wasn't even taking snaps at practice last week.
Just standing there.
Last week in practice, he wasn't even taking snaps on the sideline. I don't get it.
But just watch the Kyle Allen injury.
If they put Alex Smith out there,
I don't know if you're using any Redskins.
I would consider not using McLaurin.
Yeah.
I don't think he throws the ball. Gibson. I don't think he throws the ball more than 10 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like 8 for 15 with like 30 yards.
Pre-injury and post-injury, I don't think he is capable of throwing the ball downfield.
He had that one Kansas City season where he was like decent. When they had.
Yeah, now he's got a robot leg, so he.
Yeah. That's enough with the injuries. We're gonna touch on 5 players to probably add this week to help you win your games coming up. First, we talked on Chase Claypool's 16% rostered in Yahoo leagues at least. So I mean, he's probably the biggest name. Or the biggest pickup.
Yeah.
We're going to see the biggest change for him.
I don't know if he's someone that you pick up and use right away.
Yeah.
Because, like, some people you could do that with if you're a little bony, but...
I think if Johnson misses the game, I think he probably can.
Then, yeah, I would definitely use him.
Who knows? We're going to have to look at, like... If they all play, we're going to have to look who, like, leads the team in target snaps and all that stuff. Because that's, like... They have so many receivers there. It's, like, ridiculous.
It's a mystery.
Next, we had Travis Fulgham, who's only 3% rostered.
I think he's absolutely worth, especially if you're in a league like Jake's where like your waiver thing like weighs a lot more. I still think he's.
I have the second one in this. So
I still think he's worth a roster, and he might even be used as like a start. Like we have multi-flex league, I think he would be a good flex.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good the rest of the way. I don't know if this is the Eagles bias coming out of me. Mm-hmm. I usually try to stay pretty good with my Eagles bias, but. No, he looks freaking good.
I got the second waiver in his league, so I feel like...
Who's got one?
Andy. He has one for like the whole season.
Birds. He's taking him 100%.
Next, you have Henry Ruggs, who was 44% rostered. He was way higher than this when the season started, but then he got hurt and missed games. Mm-hmm. And then this past Sunday, he had only 2 catches, but 113 yards and a touchdown. He had a 70-yard bomb. So, I mean... If he starts to get healthy and work in the offense more, I think he could provide some like big plays, touchdowns like this, like we've seen this week.
It's definitely a home run hitter.
You want to see more targets, obviously.
I'll say because I still think he's like usable, but he's definitely like touchdown dependent because he's not really getting. Chunkers.
We want to see more.
He's not getting chunks.
But I think he's like worth an ad. Mm-hmm. And then we have Alexander Madison. We talked about. He's only 40% owned.
Which is crazy to me because if you drafted Dalvin Cook, you should absolutely have drafted him.
Yeah.
But 40% rostered.
So Dalvin Cook owners better go scatter.
I think he's definitely worth a stash if you can afford the roster move. He's definitely worth someone to keep on your bench.
And like we said, if Cook were to miss time, then he's obviously a great running back to use. And then who else we got?
LaVisca. Put him on here every week till his percentage gets over 50%. Somehow it's still not.
But he also had a very good game. This week he had 8 targets, 7 catches, 79 yards. Last week he had 86 yards. So I feel like he's kind of been like surprisingly sturdy. Yeah. I use him in Jake's league and he gets me like
PPR 13, his floor is really good.
13 like a floor of like 10. So
please go pick this man up so we can stop talking about it. Please pick him up. Please go pick him up.
That wraps up our 4th episode. And like always, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Because we're trying to grow a little bit, you know.
Trying to grow big time.
Our socials, go follow them. We'll be tweeting out stuff.
I will be
posting
more
stuff.
active on the Twitter account. I apologize. I dropped the
Mhm.
ball on that one. Put all that work in on that shit and then didn't post it. I was pretty sick about it. But
So this is going to be available what, tonight?
yeah,
Monday
tonight,
night?
Monday night.
So give us your
Run it up.
feedback. Comment under the video with some starts, some trade. If y'all are thinking about trading some people, give us
Any
some trading
advice
tips.
of any kind.
Yeah.
Fantasy
And
related.
we'll be back Thursday with another video.
Yes, sir.
With some fun ideas we got going up in our brains. So.
Oh boy, this kid.
So we got another fun week ahead of us.
Yeah. Let's go get some dubs, folks.
Bounce back stronger than ever if we lost. So we'll
All right.
catch y'all on Thursday.
Deuces.